All right, so next one in today's podcast, this comes from Matthew, and Matthew says, he's quoting me here. I know what's coming. Let me tell you what's coming. Here's another Jack's prediction. The next president of the United States is going to be a strongman. Big time strongman. Tough on this, tough on that, tough on this. Willing to do things to get things done and stamp on the throats of the people that are wrong. 8 years. 8 years of this guy is designed to get the American people to crave a guy they would have never had accepted at any other time in history. You're going to see a guy far more like Vladimir Putin as our next president than you would have ever believed 25 years ago. You want to bet? I don't know who it will be, but that will be the person you're going to get. The American people are about to scream out and beg for tyranny. They're going to call for it. They'll cheer it when it gets here, end quote. Jack Spirko, that's me, episode 1387, July 16th, 2014. So almost 2 years ago. And this is Matt's little note to me in addition to that. Jack, while Hillary and Trump are not exactly what I would call a strongman, it sure seems the position they're trying to take, which really made me think about this quote you had made. Any comments on the disillusioned people that see them as a strongman? Any suggestions to dealing with or waking up loved ones that are part of that group? Thanks for all you do, Matt. Okay, waking up people that are part of the disillusioned public that are voting for people like Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders. They're not as disillusioned as you might think, because you know what they're not doing. They're not voting for people like Hillary Clinton and Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio and establishment people, even fake anti-establishment people like Cruz. So at least they've gotten disillusioned enough to get outside the box, so to speak, and stop supporting the establishment. The problem is, and I'm beginning to look at this more and more. So you know me with politics, guys. I don't take a horse in these races. I don't really care who wins, but I observe who wins because while I believe this is all the ass clown circus, it's all a pantomime, it's all a game, it's all a way to give us the illusion that we have control by electing our own tyrants once every 4 years, and really every 2 years with midterm elections. Different tyrants will do different things, and we should be prepared for different situations as that stuff comes up. So, I do pay attention. And I'm thinking more and more, as much as I was wrong, because I was the guy that also said at the beginning of this, Trump is not going to be our next president, that he is my strongman prediction. And when I think about it, and I think about, and I said it would also be a Republican, and when I said, and just for the quote there, when I said 8 years of this guy is to get America, like 8 years of incompetence and idiocy, I'm talking about Obama, right? Like, especially the last 4 years, like, of Obama's administration, like his second term, I mean, in fact, the last 2 years have been just, I mean, the guys look completely incompetent. He's taking a dime, is what I said. He's setting up. He's doing what his handlers are telling him to. And, you know, when I go back and I think, okay, of all the people that were running as a Republican, who could have been the strongman? You know, I said Scott Walker, but that was just like, I thought maybe he would come out of kind of left field and be different, and but when I really look at it, he's not a strong man. Ted Cruz is not a strong man. Kasich's not a strong man. Rubio is not a strong man. They're typical Republicans, which means they're Democrats, centrist Democrats, and just like typical Democrats are centrist Republicans, it's a big bubble they're all in. There's no real difference. Trump's the only one. Trump's message is authoritarian. It's very authoritarian, but it's working. It's working so good, I find myself going, kind of hope he wins. Kind of hope he wins because it's going to piss everybody off. Kind of hope he wins because they're constantly lying about him. Kind of hope he wins because he's being accused of violence, but the people protesting his stuff are the ones committing violence. Kind of hope he wins because when they were violent at one of his latest functions, he was willing to get his ass out of his limousine and walk through a highway divider and in the back door. Kind of hope he wins. And then I start thinking about it. I start using critical analysis and I go, you know, it's still the ass clown circus, Jack. Don't trust any of these people. And see, if you can't trust any of these people, and you look at Trump and the way the media has attacked him at every level, and yet he survived, is it genuine? or is it part of the plan? Have you noticed the more Donald Trump is attacked, the more popular he becomes? Do you really think the networks who put Donald Trump's shows on television, like The Apprentice, don't like Donald Trump? Do you really think they hate him? Do you really think the executives that he's made billions of dollars for hate him? Does that really make sense? Does that jive? What could have done more for Donald Trump than the media attacking him? What if the media had treated him completely fairly? What if the media had said, "No, the guy's not a racist. He's not a sexist. He's got far too many high-paid females in his organizations." It'd be interesting to see, wouldn't it? Like to just like, if I were Trump, I would be saying right now, let's look at everybody that's involved in this, and let's look at how well you pay your female employees and how well you pay your minority employees, and let's look at how well I pay mine. That would be interesting. It would be really interesting, wouldn't it? So, since the things that are being attacked about Trump really aren't the actual problems with Trump. You know, the racism. Saying that you want to prevent illegal immigration is not racist. You have to be, there's got to be something wrong with you if you actually believe that saying we shouldn't let people come here illegally, and they go, well, that's racist. Because that would mean people from anywhere. It just so happens that our most porous border is our southern one, and most of those people happen to be Hispanic. But Jack, you're supposed to be an anarchist. You're supposed to be for open borders. Well, yeah, get rid of welfare and all of this statist crap, and then we can have open borders. But we don't have that. I'm also a realist. What if Donald Trump is the strongman? Donald Trump's actually, and here's what I said too, going back all these years. I said, oh, God, I've got to put this on the camera. I have never shown this. Guys on the audio, I'm showing a rainbow farting unicorn on a coffee cup that one of the students that came to a class here brought me. Don't remember exactly who that was, but thank you. And I've been meaning to give you kind of a shout out for that. So just so you guys know, I've often said the government, passes laws and think that means it's going to change things. Well, they can pass a law that says you get a rainbow farting unicorn. That doesn't mean you're going to get one. Anyway, back to Trump. I think it's really the case that he could be our strongman because he's for universal health care. He absolutely is. Now, the plan he's put out on his website is the Republican plan. It is the Republican plan. Open networks, etc. In fact, if you look at Donald Trump's website, on all of his issues, all of these talk radio people attacking him, he's put out a plan that is exactly what they've said they've wanted forever. But yet they all attack him. Could the whole thing be a setup? I think it could. I absolutely think that it could. Only time will tell, and we'll see. But what I'm hearing now is, well, Trump doesn't do well in general elections. Well, we don't know that, do we? We have no idea about that. The reality hasn't set in for people yet. That you're going to be voting between Ask Clown A and Ask Clown B, and this time you're going to have Ask Clown A, Donald Bad Hair Trump, and Ask Clown B is going to be a criminal named Hillary Clinton. And I think that you're going to see a huge ramp up on how bad Hillary really is. And it could just be that Hillary doesn't really have the presidency on her bucket list. And that everybody's in on this together. I don't mean to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it all seems to be playing out exactly like I said it would on July 16, 2014. Again, time will tell.